Hello, everyone. Welcome to another amazing session with Teamwrkr and Arcui. This is Arcui Station, and today we'll be talking about collaboration in more than one way. Collaboration is an essential tool for freelancers or any business to truly grow. Collaborations with companies, sponsorships, with clients, and your own team, and especially tools. Mainly because we're in a world with AI and so many amazing tools out there that can help you scale your operations, your productivity, and so much more. So in this conversation today, we'll be answering any and all questions regarding collaborations that you might have in one way or the other. So feel free to tune in, ask your questions, and when you watch the recording, make sure you comment down below any other questions you might have, join in the Teamwrkr community, and let's keep growing as freelancers in the future of work. With that, I would love to welcome all the people who are here today, Varanya, Varun, and Krisa. I hope you're all doing great. And so I would like to ask all of you guys, what are your thoughts in terms of collaboration and what's the first thing that comes to you when it comes to collaborating with clients? Because I think that the approach we use at my own agency, Achilles, is we look for friends and relationships in our clients, and everyone we work with is a partner. My clients wish me, they connect with me, we have fun jokes and everything. And while I'm all professional and everything, we can relax. We have all sorts of things going on. And that's because I look at them as partners, as equals. And I think that's a very crucial mindset when it comes to growing as a freelancer, to be able to utilize every relationship around you and looking forward to making relationships more than anything. This allows you to even the playing field, get proper respect from your clients, respect them, and truly lead to a lot more collaboration and potential with projects. And the impact you create will be exponential. So I'd love to open up the conversation by asking you guys, what are your thoughts when it comes to the kind of clients you want to collaborate with? And with that, we'll let the conversation get going. And I'm more than happy to answer any and all questions you guys have. Just feel free to raise your hand and unmute. Yes, go ahead, Varanya. And after that, we'll go to Krisa.
Yep. Collaborating with clients, or even if it is collaborating with other freelancers, I feel like if if I can contribute anything, or if you can contribute anything, uh, like I feel like, why compete when you can collaborate? This is my major motto whenever I work with anyone, like even if it is clients or even if it is collaborating with other freelancers. When I am collaborating with clients, especially, I feel like, um I want to help as much as possible, like business, these things apart. I want to help as much as possible. So yeah, as you mentioned, it's more about the relations and helping each other. And also I feel like, if there is a chance, we need to collaborate instead of hiring more teams and all, to keep the business lean and all. Yeah, so
That's amazing. So, what kind of relationship you look for when you're choosing to work with clients or with the creatives you choose to collaborate with? What do you look for in a relationship?
yeah, so I look for mainly the passion, like, uh i I, as you also mentioned, right, like the vibe should also match. And I also feel like the passion should match, and the contribution levels, it the if we do anything, it should really impact. Like, I just don't want to do just because of doing it. So I will also check that, like, if I'm collaborating or if I'm contributing anything, is it really helpful? If not, I'll say, like, okay, even though we can collaborate, even though I want to work with you, it may not significantly impact your business. So these three things I will mainly look like. Yeah.
I think it's really nice because a lot of times people end up ruining a lot of relationships if they cannot find the right people to work with on the right projects. Like you might have a great vibe, but that's just not it. You need to also be able to provide enough impact. Let that be with clients or with, the creatives you collaborate with, because if you're not able to truly feel that all the parties are contributing enough, let's say even with clients, if the clients aren't properly involved and you feel like it's just a one hit wonder and it's just going one way, the conversation is going cold, and if the creatives you're collaborating with, if you don't think they're able to deliver at your level and expectations, or even when you're building business relationships and your partners, if you feel like you're doing a lot more work than your partners, then you start to drain out of the relationship, not just for the business, but overall with the relationship you have with the individuals. So choosing to collaborate with the right people and setting these expectations is really crucial. I'd like to go on to Krisa. I see Krisa has raised her hand, but yes, go ahead, Krisa.
kind of going off of what you said, Arcai, about feeling drained and that energy exchange, I find that a lot of times when I think of collaboration, I think of that equal conversation that we have between people. Like, even though I'm doing work for a client, I don't want them to see me as their employee. Like, I'll do the job for you, but at the same time, I want us to have that back and forth conversation, and I want us to be able to exchange ideas without feeling like we're stepping on each other's toes. At the end of the day, some people tend to be scared of like having conversations like these because they're afraid of conflict, but sometimes the healthy conflict is needed, especially if it's going to help things be better and bring the best results. I just love having those conversations with clients, because it brings a new perspective sometimes when I see some, or they see something that I don't see.
Absolutely. I think it's really crucial because, setting these expectations and friendly banter is always good. I think to have banter with friends and anyone, as long as it's friendly and it's leading to one goal, is crucial. I would love to know, what do you do as a freelancer to be able to establish such boundaries and relationships with your clients, and especially when banters come up, to maintain the, decorum as well as where the relationship is going and the expectations on, yeah, this is just so that we can create the best thing for you. How do you manage that, Rizal?
So it definitely comes down to that first call that you get on with a person, a discovery call. I feel like that's where you start feeling out their personality and their attitude and their drive. So it's always good to ask those questions. And when you do negotiate with them in that first beginning stage, I would always suggest having a call with them. Don't have any conversations on email, so that you can grasp who that person is and what kind of things they bring to the table, because in email they can sound great, but in person they might not bring the same energy. So it's good to always call them live and speak to them in person, whether it's on the phone or on video. Personally, I prefer video just so I can see their face. And asking questions that you feel like set your boundaries. For me, some of my boundaries are like, what is your budget? What's a good turnaround time for you? What's the best way we can, how do you feel comfortable in this relationship? Or what's a good experience for you? Asking those questions to bring out, like, if you can define what your boundaries are and what's a red flag to you. I think asking questions that kind of put things positively, but like, if you ask them to people and see what their answers are, it will let you know if they're the right person for you.
Absolutely. I think that's really amazing tips that you have shared here. Mainly because, yes, I completely agree with you. Video and audio is the best way to connect, because once you engage with someone, you pick up on their tonality. You're no longer assuming how they interact. Because as freelancers or service providers, every time we get reached out by clients, in our head, we are always looking for the best case scenario. So we are optimizing their tone as well, even if they're using exclamation, if they're using certain words. And only when they say certain things that really gets out of the blur and focuses on our attention, where we realize that, okay, maybe this might be a red flag kind. But aside from that, it's really hard to do that unless you're on video. So it's really great to be on video calls in your discovery meeting. And the second thing is to ask these questions and to even discover your client before you get on a discovery call. A lot of times people get on discovery call hoping to build a connection, but the best thing to truly do to succeed as a freelancer or as a service provider is to do a bit of research about the person you're getting in call with, who they are, what they like to do, maybe what similarities you have, and try to bring that up and have a conversation around that to be able to truly build a bond and connect going forward, so that the discovery call isn't spent all about building rapport, but rather spent more focus on providing value to each other and making it comfortable for you to even ask these questions. For example, literally today I met someone who's a Guinness World Record holder, a three-time Guinness World Record holder, and I reached out to him because he is giving a TED talk, and I was like, I plan to give a TED talk this year, so let me reach out to you. And literally, we connected over a few things before because I loved the way he was approaching life. He's 19 and kind of something similar to me. And the first thing I did when I was on call with him was, I love your hair. He had curly hair, wavy hair. And I was like, I love your hair. That's the kind of hair I generally have as well. And then we were talking about how our parents don't really let us have it, but whenever we are away, we let it grow out. And we laughed about it. And this allowed us to have a much more wonderful and meaningful conversation. and we were both able to equally impact each other with both of our journeys. So with let that be with clients, let that be with collaborations or any network, try to build a relationship, and discovering is really amazing. It's great that you brought up these points as well, Kriza, about setting boundaries and asking certain things that are really crucial for you. Because if you don't ask them, then it can, even though a relationship is going well, if these things aren't disclosed earlier, then it can affect the entirety of the project and the relationship you have with your clients. So thank you for sharing that. I would love to go to Varun next. And Varun, what are your thoughts on collaboration and how you try to collaborate with your clients and what do you look for?
So I don't have many points. I hope you can hear me. Yeah. So I don't have experienced a lot, but I at least know what clients I don't want to collaborate with, and what clients I want to collaborate. Like I got this client from Australia. I hope, I mean, so I mean, he was the most appreciative clients I got, and they were like, "Yeah, you are new. We know that, but we appreciate you. We trust you." So uh, that's what I experienced, and I would love to work with those clients who appreciate my work and trust me and don't interfere in my job, at least, like what's my thing to do, and don't interfere in between that. And I mean, we give each other's I'll give you your space, you give me mine, and you like these sort of clients. So yeah, that's what it is for me.
That's amazing. And I think the best way to know what you want is by sometimes experiencing things that you don't want. We learn in more than one way, but to what you said, it's kind of like building friends, building relationships. We go to a school full of hundreds of kids, and it's only a certain group of people you truly vibe with. And then we end up seeking such people as well. And it's kind of even like dating. Once we realize the kind of people we like to be with, we try to gravitate more of them. And we also figure out what about them made us want to be with them. It's the same thing to do with clients. Whenever you're trying to see who you want to work with or the things you like in a client, see why you like them. So in this case, I'm assuming because they gave you the freedom to express yourself and also give you a chance to communicate and share your ideas while collaborating with you and weren't looking at you as a newbie or just because you're new, weren't undermining you. So look out for more of these traits and see what kind of behaviors you were doing and they were doing. And the more content you create around that in terms of expressing yourself, and the more you put out things that said these things clearly, will end up gravitating more people towards you. Now, of course, you'll end up having a first few bad first dates, like discovery calls, where you find out that who you thought someone to be isn't what they look like in the email and how they express themselves. But that's the point of discovery calls, to what Kriza said, where you actually get to know if you are a good match and if you can truly work together on not just one project, but on many more projects going forward. So with that, I would like to open up the stage to all of you in terms of any questions you have in regards to collaboration. Let that be collaborating with clients, with other creators, delegating your work, or collaborating with tools, products, and platforms, even AI, or even if you're trying to collaborate with companies as a sponsor or trying to get anything. Because collaboration in today's world, especially as a freelancer, it's not just about doing your job. You get seen for the work you do, and that leads to a lot more further recognition because we're in a content driven world, and that can mean more than one thing, and even one connection can lead to 10 more clients. So I'd love to open up the stage to anybody who has any questions in regards to collaboration. Just raise your hand and we'll unmute you accordingly. Yes, go ahead, Krisa.
So Arcui, I just wanted to ask about collaborations. Have you ever done collaborations with an exchange of services? I know we talked about this a while back before about co-working spaces, and for example, with softwares that you use that you've partnered with some of these brands and to do their branding in exchange for using their software and their apps. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think a good barter is always good, but it should always be that it's a proper and equal relationship. Now, unlike regular services, a barter is determined by the relationship and values you have, because what you might do for a client may mean something for them, but what they're doing for you may mean something else altogether. It's the benefits you see in what they're doing for you. So let's say I wanted to collaborate with Zoom. I'm like, hey guys, I do a lot of my meetings here. I want to collaborate with you. And I see that your product has a lot of errors and everything. So let's do a product development consultation. Now, for them to give me their entire lifetime access to their overall platform, and me just giving them a collaboration or just, a consultation is not a worthy solution. They can literally go ahead and hire someone, or there's so many people they would be willing to do it for free. But I've also had companies give me lifetime access to their products because I helped them truly develop their product because of the insights I had in the freelance market and the suggestions I had. And now I have lifetime access to their products, and we run our entire database platform for our clients on that. So it's always how the value is being perceived. Now, for this client who I'm currently in partnership with, they really found it to be valuable. They needed my advice, and I love their platform. And for me, even though it wasn't much of a barter, and I could like just getting a subscription wasn't really making a difference. The more I helped them, I actually helped them make a better product, which in turn became a better solution for me. So being able to partner with the right people really plays a huge role. So whenever you're bartering with people, you should set clear expectations. It's still good to have a contract, but you should also make sure that it's not a overused barter where you're giving them something small or they're giving you something small, but they're expecting a lot out of you. You need to set expectations. It's just like a service, and always do barters with people you can truly trust and rely upon. Because in my experience, the best barters come when it's least expected. Like in this case with my current collaboration, I was literally just helping this company as a friend, and they felt like I was doing a lot for them. So they ended up saying that I would love one other consultation and a few more from you. And in return, I would like to give you access to my platform. So these things happen because there's a relationship and trust built. Don't barter with someone you cannot trust. Don't barter with someone you think will actually hold that against you, and have clear contracts so that you can just set the terms of a barter and you're not taken out for a run. I would love to know if there anything particular you'd like me to cover further, Kriza.
I think that's good. I that was a lot of points that you did say, so I think that covered my question.
Yes. But what made you consider wanting to barter? What's in your mind? Because you said you want to brand someone's product for the like do branding for someone in return for their product.
There's products that I'm interested. There's this product I'm interested called Milanote, which is similar to Mural, and it's kind of like Pinterest and all of Murals together. I think it's great in doing the process, but I also want to collaborate with co-working spaces as well. As you know, I love to work very remotely in cafes and other places outside of my home. So I wanted to collaborate with those people as well. So it's been a conversation I've had with some people, but at the same time, I'm not sure how to approach it with approach them like, hey, I'm not, even though I haven't been here as a while, I haven't purchased a membership at your space yet, but I'd love to collaborate with you.
So I think it's quite easy, and it's very difficult to sometimes initially reach out to someone that feels very cold, feels like we're out of place. The best thing you can do is go there, and for any relationship, you need to buy into them, at least in one way or the other. And when I say buy into them, it's not just buying their membership or it's not just buying their product. Sometimes it can be adding value to them, being there, engaging with them. Maybe you can go to a co-working space and connect with them, ask them how their business is doing, maybe do a free consultation. Like while you're there, just things you can say out of your head, maybe any ideas you can suggest to them, or you can just have a conversation around them, build a relationship. Because you need to buy into what they're doing so that they feel that you're actually considering what they're doing as value. They should see that you really require this, and only then they're open to listening. Most people out there are willing to listen to their clients than some random person going out there and giving them suggestions, because they don't see what's the point of it. They see it as noise. So whenever you want to collaborate with a company, because I reached out to a company wanting for them to sponsor my podcast because I used a scheduling platform, and I just went ahead and told them that, hey guys, I love your scheduling platform. It's been amazing for the past few years. It has really great benefits, and I would love to know how I can best assist you. But I also have a request. So I have a podcast, and we're trying to give recognition to a lot of companies that really supported us, that made it possible with ease. And your platform really made it easy for us to do this without having to cost us anything. This made it seamless for other people to book meetings. And so we are putting a recognition platform where we're giving like recognition to a lot of companies who collaborated with us or whose tools we used. But I would also like to know if you'd like to sponsor the podcast. The podcast is all about helping creative professionals in the business of design, helping them scale and develop their understanding of business, branding, and the things they don't hear out there. It's fully jam-packed with value, and we're looking for sponsors just so that we can better sustain our investments and even use it to, in a way, incorporate more information and put more resources in this. Do you think you find this of value? And they did. So obviously, you don't always have to sell right in one big message. You can talk about a few things and let the conversation get going. But one thing can always lead to another. And then they ended up offering me their paid plan for free because they're like, yeah, you know what? We like what you're doing. And we'd actually, because we're sponsoring you, we'd also like to give you other free access to our platform. Sometimes you just need to show the recognition you see. So let's say you want to work with a co-working space, go there and appreciate the culture, appreciate what is there, tell them why you value it and how it can be beneficial to a lot more people. Speak as if you're partner. Speak as if you're literally their partner right from the get-go. Then they feel, when you set the tone like that and when you have a conversation like that, they feel like you can actually see the future of the platform or the place with them. And then they're more open to hearing. Now, of course, you need to build a relationship and a bit of a vibe, maybe connect with the right person as well. Because sometimes if you offer a barter to someone who doesn't has the authority to bring that up or who wouldn't be considered that highly, then it's not really a worthy doing that because it might build a good relationship, but you might not be able to achieve the goal you went out to succeed. So connect with the right people, build a relationship, and then suggest what you can do and what you want in return.
Thank you, Arcui.
Of course. I'd like to know if there's anybody else who has any other questions in regards to collaboration. Do you raise your hands? Yeah, go ahead, Varanya.
Yeah, so I've been collaborating with a few guys till now, and so one of my friends, I mean, like he became a friend now, but we he runs an agency as well, and we collaborated and we started providing work. So my question is, when the people you are collaborating becomes your friend, how would you negotiate? Like, for example, I'm planning to raise my prices. It's been a few months now, and I want to increase it. I don't want to spoil the um relationship as well. But at the same time, I want to continue, like, move forward with the collaboration. And yeah, so just some insights.
Absolutely. And is this someone is this other person having their own business and agency as well? Yeah. So if that's the case, then they understand that you're running a business, they're running a business. Sometimes it's just good to be honest and forward that, hey, honestly, it's been amazing working with you. And I love what other things we create and everything. Just wanted to let you know we are increasing our rates going forward from next month. And while this will be the case for most people, I'm willing to reduce the prices a bit for us because I really love the collaborations we do. And I understand if I'm guessing they pay you, you pay them as well for certain services. And that's how the collaboration works. But and I understand if you'd like to increase your prices a bit as well when the time comes, I'm more than happy to do that. But because we are trying to increase our prices, but also respect the relationship, I would like to just let you know that in the coming few months, our prices are increasing. Now, of course, I'm more than happy to discuss this further with you because I understand that this relationship is extremely valuable for both of us, and I really appreciate this. So just let me know when would be a good time to further discuss this. Now, most times, if another person who's equally running a business and values your services, and what you do for them and what they do for you, then they are more than willing to understand. And it's all right. If you're running a business, you need to have these conversations with friends. Even sometimes if it's your family who comes to you and they're like, you never have the pricing conversation, but they just nod along, but they never pay you. You need to have the conversation like, hey, I love you. I love that you come over and everything. And I love that I got a chance to work with you. Now, I would love for you to pay me. It's family. You need to have these conversations. It's the same thing. So just be yourself, just be out there and just be as simple and empathetic as you can be and see where it goes. If you think that this person isn't open to understanding right now, but you truly require the services, but maybe you don't also want to damage the relationship, let them know, well, it's all right. I'm happy to, continue at the current prices, but I might have to reduce the deliverables a bit just so that we can sustain our resources with other things. It's completely all right. Whenever I collaborate with people, sometimes they let me go, sometimes they don't have the funds to sustain me anymore. And even though I do it at a discount, sometimes our services are a bit pricey for them. I need to understand for them as well as a business decision, maybe certain prices are at your level. So you can reduce deliverables or you can figure out something. but make sure that you're having a proper clear communication from both a business point of view, but also as a friend who's truly invested in maintaining the relationship. Yeah, I hope that helps. And yes,
Yep.
wonderful. So yeah, are there any other questions in regards to collaboration in any way whatsoever? All right, so with nothing going on, I see Varun has unmuted himself. Yeah, go ahead, Varun.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, I had this question related to taking, collaborating and working with family, working with family. But I ended up in a situation where I had, to close the client as well. I mean, at that point of situation, like there was an issue with the price as well and the deliverables as well. So, I mean, how to handle uh, the family situation there when something went wrong, uh, made the price, made the deliverables. I mean, the person in front is not accepting the price and these sort of things in family specifically, not in a known one, but in family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's at a point you need to realize that yes, while family is important, when it comes to a business, everybody is a potential client. I need to deal with them like that. The best thing you can do is either if you feel like this is happening, let them know, or whatever you address them by, uncle or whoever it is. Hey, uncle, I love that you reached out to me and I really appreciate that you recognize me as a business and a service provider. But unfortunately, I'm not, this is causing a lot of trouble for us to be in a relationship and for me to sustain my business. I see that you're having trouble accepting my prices. And I hope that you find someone else who meets your budgets and needs. But because I really value this relationship and we got to connect better because of this, and I love what you're doing with your business, but I have to run my own business and I'm unable to meet your requirements at set budgets, as well as, whatever other things you require, whatever that might be causing the relationship to fluctuate, whatever, just address that and tell them that I'm happy. I hope that you find someone else who can help you with this, but I can't do this right now because I have other things to do. I hope you recognize that even I have a business to run, and even though I'm new or whatever they are pointing out that you're new, you need this, you need that, whatever they say, yes, even though I am new, I need to grow. And while I thought that this would be a great opportunity for me to grow with, unfortunately, that's not the case. I hope you understand and there are no hard feelings. And let me know what else you require. And if I can connect you with someone else, I'm more than happy to. But unfortunately, I don't think we can continue this forward. If they haven't paid anything or if they have to pay you, then it's up to you if you want to deal with that mental stress or if you just want to move on and start with the rest of the next projects who are awaiting your requirements. So then you just need to make a call. If you think you still need the payments, let them know. Just pay this up and everything. I'll send you the invoice after this, and I hope you can send that, fill that up. But yes, it was great to support you. Unfortunately, I can't do this anymore, and I hope you find someone else. And if you can't deal with this, just let them know that and because I'm leaving the project and I don't see this going anywhere. This is how much it actually costed, and you're happy to pay this, but that's your call. I'll leave that up to you, and then you just move on to the next thing. Sometimes relatives and everything, they look at you in a negative way. I generally think that if you're a friend and family, instead of getting a discount, you should be paying 10 times more because you're someone who's starting something. Instead of looking for a discount, you should be the first person buying from them. And that's kind of like the culture I was being brought up with in my family. Like my parents would buy my things whenever I created a product. My first book was bought my entire family, and everybody bought one thing. And I've had relatives who did not even look at it. I've had crappy relatives, I don't even consider them family anymore. But yeah, so it's always going to be there, but you just need to pick your own family and the people you be around, because anybody can reach out to you in your business. If this person wasn't a family, how would you empathetically deal with them if they were a client, but you also still want to be empathetic? Do it in the same way. Just address the things they say. And if they try to backlash or say something that, but you're this, you're just a kid, this could help you and everything, I was just only doing this for you. Tell them, well, I really appreciate your support for doing this for me. But unfortunately, I'm not able to really learn anything from here. The only things I'm learning is how much it's causing me stress and how I'm unable to really grow from this. Be clear. If they're willing to put you out there in that position and throw you under the bus, be open conversing in the same manner. Now, of course, that will be your call and based upon your personality and the relationships you have with your family. But make sure that no one around your family also lets it get to you, because you have a business to run. At the end of the day, family and business, They are two separate things. Even if you work with people, when you're in business for the sustainability of the business and for you to be able to achieve everything you set forth when you started your business as a freelancer, they need to be set clear and you need to be out there focusing on them and keeping that and your family separate. You don't bring that into your home and you don't bring that into business. Does that help?
Yeah, I did, man. Thanks a lot. I mean, it's okay to not accept if, I mean, there is a intersection between.
Absolutely. And if you find the
Totally.
person to be stressful or annoying or someone who you know that the relationship will be bad, and even if they're willing to pay you more, if you think that, yeah, this, even if you say he or she says this thing, and then, it's just going to be more problems and they might not even pay for it, just ignore it. Because the amount of time you invest with this will be a lot less with the amount of time you'll actually be investing in growing your business. Because this will actually end up reducing your efforts to grow your business because you'll only be thinking about all the negativity and the stress that might potentially come your way. Right. So with that, yes, go ahead, Varun. I see you unmuted.
Can I add one more point for dealing how to deal with family in
Absolutely.
business?
Go ahead.
Because so Varun, I work with many cousins. Even when I started my first business, I worked with my cousins. It ended. Now I started another business. They came back. They're again working with me. Like we are again collaborating. Ours is kind of RRR film kind of production team, many cousins and all. So one thing I do to make sure that this won't affect the relationship and also business is, before starting anything, I will mention that we are doing business, things will go wrong. This should not affect our relationship. I will make sure, like I will explicitly mention this. We are doing a business, things will go wrong. It should not affect our relationship. That I explicitly mentioned. So yeah, you can also start doing that moving forward.
Yeah, I think that's
For
an
sure.
amazing input. Yeah, good, Varun. Yeah.
Exactly. Be straightforward in the beginning of itself. So I mean, people will know what is coming
Yes. In
with
fact,
that.
we actually have the same line added in all of our contracts in the starting as well, that we appreciate the business you bring to us, but we will be more than willing to just end the contract if we see personally that this is affecting our relationship going forward. So if that happens, this will is enough cause for us to terminate the contract because we value our relationships and we don't want that to be affected. We put that out there because we want to have a good relationship with all our clients. And if you feel like just working on a particular project, if that's causing a lot of stress, then we let them know that, hey, unfortunately, we can't do this because I really value this relationship and I can't let that get affected because of this word. I hope you can find someone else and I'll try my best to connect you with someone else as well. What about you, Chris? What are your thoughts when it comes to collaborating with family? Have you collaborated with someone like this before? Or have you had an experience or any tips you could like to share to us and Varun?
I have collaborated with family, but it was when I was very young. When I hadn't even started my business, so of course it didn't go as planned. But with the knowledge that I have now, I would say working with family is definitely hard. It's definitely tough. I think they're going to be your toughest clients, but it's not a strict no. But I will say it is hard to work with family, but um, you can still do it. You just have to be a little bit more firm on your boundaries. You might have to explain things a little bit more, and why you're doing what you're doing. But it's not, I wouldn't say no to working with your family. I would just say be ready to stand up for yourself.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people let go of the self-worth when it comes to working with family and they feel like it might affect their entire relationship. So they don't stand up much. So really thank you for adding that, Crystal.
For sure. And a lot of the times that I do notice, like um freelancers work with strangers first before their family, because their family, like, they think that it's a hobby to you. Sometimes they'll think it's a hobby to you, so they're not as likely to come. But after a while, if they see you doing well, they see you progressing, they become more trusting of your services. So you just got to reassure them sometimes. But overall, I I strongly, like, encourage you to work with your family, but I also strongly encourage you to stand up for yourself.
Thank you. And yes, with that, I would like to know if anyone has any other questions or we can call this to a wonderful end. I see no hands raised and no one unmuting. So Thank you everyone for joining in on this session for Teamworker and Arcui Station on collaboration. And while we discussed a lot of different things, and some things we were planned and some things were a whole another trip, but it made a lot of value and it helped a lot of freelancers. I hope all the young freelancers who are tuning in find the last tips especially valuable and help you grow and not lose your own self-worth and value. With that, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you around on the 1st of March where we're talking all about AI and freelancing and how to use AI to grow as freelancers. Do tune in, do invite other people, and make sure you're a part of the Teamworker community. The link's in the description.